Hello. Welcome to Illusions Exist. I'm Piero, broadcasting from the great state of Maine. Needless to say, echoing off the stratospheric jet-based MCWCA AM broadcast studio. All right. Well, it wasn't the morning, but I sort of made this stream, today based on my getting up and going to bed time. It's midnight. Technically, this might have started 9/1/2021, but I started the process shortly before that, still in the day that is on the title. Okay, so first of all, there's this fire.
What's that? No. Is it? Yeah.
So we'll talk about that in a second. Before that, I wanted to mention, so about expertise, I'm not saying I trust experts. Like, oh, I just trust them. No. If you have an important medical decision, you should get a second opinion from your doctor, a third, a fourth, fifth. But no matter how many opinions you get on that serious medical condition, you're not going to become the doctor. And I'm not going to want you to do my surgery. Whatever you decide that's best for you, you're not going to do my surgery. So as a society, we're going to go with expertise. I'm just going to, can you believe it? People that spend their whole life studying. Now, any given individual, who knows? They could have got dementia yesterday. You can't just trust an individual. And you can't even, just blindly trust a whole industry. You can have experts saying things that are not true. Classifying things and using social biases. It depends a little bit, more than a little bit, on the field, though. Because, in the case of medicine, in the case of physics and mathematics, there's criteria and details to the systems that they are working in. An example I would use is when doctors were using leeches. We're kind of past that now, but it was still more likely a doctor was going to help you survive a battle wound than just a random person. Now, might there have been certain people with natural ability and maybe knowledge of remedies that for whatever reason were effective in somebody recuperating, and that individual is the best nurse ever and you'd luck out? Yes, but they would be one of these experts that we're talking about. And, if you get the 7th and 10th and then you get 1,000th second opinion, I'm sorry, but that expertise is valuable. And everybody thinks that in the things that they're good at. And that's all I'm saying is that now, you don't have to go with that. People can surf, even though the experts say you're more likely to break your leg than if you didn't surf. And people smoke, even though the experts say that's just bad for you. And definitely, absolutely. But when we make a social decision, we're going to use the expertise. The experts and the people taking the numbers and taking the data who have the receipts. And when they don't have the receipts, fine. You're not acting as an expert. You're just spouting off. But actual experts and industries full of experts have some receipts and data that you can look and get convinced by or reject based on an expert analysis, multiple experts. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to agree with that. I knew an old couple, my great aunt and uncle, and they're just like, we don't want to go to.
What's that? No. Is it?
We don't want to go to the hospital anymore. We don't want that for our end of life lifestyle. They were 90, and they're just like, we're not going. My great aunt was recommended to have a pacemaker, and that would have extended her life. She didn't do it, and she was able to die at home, and this is what she wanted rather than the last 5 years of her life in and out of hospitals kind of stuff. But that doesn't mean she's saying that the doctors are wrong, that they could extend her life. She's making a personal decision that actually takes what the doctors, she was a nurse, by the way, when she was younger. So it's just a matter of, in society, that's what we're going to go with. We're going to bet with the people that have data and receipts. And yes, they can be wrong, but I would still rather get surgery from somebody like that. And when people come up with this stuff like, that doctors are killing people, they want to kill you by making a vaccine and stuff, and they're going to make money by killing you. It's like, well, they could kill you with just a couple grains of cyanide when you go in for a checkup or eye drops or an ear infection. Right? We're not saying doctors as an individual can't be greedy, or even doctors as a unionized organization might not try to maximize profits. That could be true, and the fact is, the reason that our lifespans have doubled, again, overall, statistically, not every single individual got a doubled lifespan, right? They just got whatever lifespan they ended up with. But in the last 100 years or so, our lifespans are double what they used to be. That's medical science. That's the people with the receipts actually spending their whole life studying it, I'd rather have my car fixed by somebody that does understand cars. So I'm as suspicious of authority as anybody, and I don't consider experts exactly as authorities so much as reference points, right? And you could call that being an authority, but not any one expert. Any one expert, you can find somebody that disagrees with them on some or even major points. But when you collect the view of that expertise, if it's the kind of expert that just says, well, this is what we think of poems. Well, okay, it's just a contemporary club of people talking about poems. But if it's a science with data like medicine and physics, astronomy, mechanical engineering, all kinds of engineering, and structural and material engineering, yeah, they have the receipts. We're going to go with that. That's what I'm voting for. Do you have to agree with me? No, but I might as well know that's what I'm going to vote for. Now the other thing is, I don't have a lot of information on this, but I have relatives out west, and there's been tons of fires. My aunt, there was a fire right from her house, just right over the hill. It went out. There's just tons of fires and smoke and terrible. And then I'm in Maine, and we even had these noticeably hazy days, they were telling us, were from fires out west. And right now I have, my cousin lives in Tahoe, and there's a really scary fire up there. So this fire says this is from Echo Summit here, and that's the one that's threatening. And the stream, especially the short ones, the dispatches, are just what I've been thinking about sort of that day, and I've been thinking a lot about this. So the map of this fire is, so there's this fire. Why is there we go. So I guess when you close that goes away. I see. So it's this fire that's really threatening him, but then there's another one. Look at the scale here. This is only 5 miles, so this is like, let's just look. Let's just measure it. 40 miles long fire. And this is Heavenly Ski Resort right here, and they're using their snow machines to spray everything. My cousin's right on the other side here, right next to Heavenly. Like, they have a condo, like, really near there. Like, you ski out right to it, so they're somewhere right around there. But on the Nevada side, I believe. And, geez, it's just really scary. I really wish for his sake, to get out of there. You can just get caught by a fire so easily, especially in the mountains. I guess he can escape north here. I'm sure he'll be fine, but geez, just don't know. Right now, he's helping evacuate stuff, and he does a lot of building and making furniture, and so he's helping his clients save artwork and stuff right now. Um, he's evacuated from his house, and I just wanted to bring attention to just how bad the fires have been. Uh, uh, so I just did this at random, but they've just been it's the worst fires, and that's saying something for the West. And all the way up, I have my relatives in Oregon. Again, fires and plenty of shots, just of huge billowing fires, just right outside of cities and towns. Often is that I grew up in California, and the fires, you'll have really big fires, but often they're out way out in the woods, and you might see signs of them, but it's just their little remote towns and neighborhoods in the woods or something that are threatened, and you hear about it, and that was serious enough, right? And you would sometimes know about that town, or maybe have people you knew there. But then, like the Paradise Fire a few years ago, and just the kinds of fires we're having now, they just are raging even right through the city and right down in the middle of everything, where they used to be able to stop them. You see, it's not like the fires, well, there's a lot of wilderness, so the odds are, maybe lightning strikes in the wilderness. But also when the fires would start, they just weren't as raging. Whereas what happened in California is a few years ago, there was a drought and all these reservoirs dropped down. It was supposed to take like 10 years of normal rainfall to fill it back up, and then it was full the next year. And then it drained again. And all this water coming and going causes the grass and the shrubs to grow, but then get dried out and just become, so this way of getting water, you just want a little water all the time. If you get a lot of water in the spring or certain storms, then in California what will happen is everything will be green, all the grasslands green for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then it's just dry for the rest of the year. And so this is a really terrible thing. And I just thought I would bring attention to it. And also because this is fucking amazing, this video, right? Am I right?
What's that? No. Is it? Yeah.
Oh, I was going to point out where this is on the map. Or did I?
Task Force 35 Charlie, Brush 1.
Yeah, go ahead. If you need to bump down, just bump down to the lower lot. Pretty good safety zone.
Yeah, A-Farm, we're taking on a lot of heat here. We're going to bump out of here. It sounds like this fire might be reaching the basin as well. Fuck. I lost my helmet.
Yeah, back towards the 15.
Sometimes when people are worried about who's going to wear a dress or where people can go to the bathroom, I think about things like this. And frankly, this is more important. This is a real thing going on. And so that was happening. That video was from... Facebook, of course. So, to me, this relative expertise, too, is like everybody thinking, I could accuse anybody of just being out for the money. Yeah, we all need to make a living. that's a factor, but it's like people. That video is from people that are up fighting that fire. They're in the middle of just a hellstorm. We should spend some of our time appreciating that, just after we're done watching an episode of the Kardashians, then stop whining about everything just long enough to appreciate people that do that for a living. And thank God that they can make money doing it, because it would be kind of hard to ask them to do that and they just had to volunteer or something or do it part-time, which of course a lot of firefighters do. A lot of those people are up there even volunteering. And so it seems like a good thing to appreciate. And also think about, because I know how everybody just cares about the whole nation so much, so it's good to be in touch. And if you have family down in Louisiana or you have a connection to that, I'd like you to make videos about that and help me be in touch with what's going on. Because, of course, if you know people there, you get a little bit of a feel, and the people that are there hardly have time to make content and informational videos sharing that it's going on. But it's going on. All right, that's the dispatch. We're going to shut down the Stratospheric broadcast station, and I'll probably go to sleep pretty soon. Maybe play a Rocket League first. This is Piro signing out.